We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some huge news regarding the current undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, who is heading into his next big title defense against Drew McIntyre at the Clash at the Castle Premium live event on September 3rd. Now, by all means, one of the bigger wrestling news stories of the year was in regards to Roman Reigns' changing status in WWE following WrestleMania 38, with Roman essentially transitioning out of being a full-time superstar for the company and instead taking on a part-time schedule with WWE, something that did not sit well with many fans, mainly because Roman Reigns became the undisputed WWE Universal Champion at WrestleMania this year, which means that we don't get the company's two major titles on the shows regularly anymore, at least not how we did before, with Monday Night Raw quite literally not having a top champion actively on the show whatsoever anymore. However, for the fans believing that Roman Reigns could soon be transitioning out of WWE or retiring in the near future, think again, because it appears as though Roman Reigns won't be leaving WWE anytime soon. Now, in a recent interview with Sports Illustrated, the Tribal Chief revealed that he has signed a new deal with WWE, with the exact quote being this: "Yeah, I don't really like to give specifics, especially there are timelines, different ways to play with these things." Now, for the fans wondering why exactly Roman Reigns transitioned out of being a full-time talent for WWE this year, Reigns thankfully gave fans some noteworthy insight in this interview with Sports Illustrated. Quote, "The main thing is, when you've been on the road for almost 10 years straight and someone who has been at the highest level, the main event level, I've ran a full schedule for a very long time. Even before we went to Fox, it changed to where it was SmackDown on Friday, 2 live events on Saturday and Sunday, and the occasional Monday Night Raw. That's a 4-night schedule, which isn't as bad as it used to be. We used to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday live events, Monday Night Raw, tape SmackDown on Tuesday. We were only getting a day and a half. This is before private travel, buses, and all that. Fly out Wednesday morning, get half of Wednesday, you get home and you're tired, half of Wednesday, then you have Thursday, and are trying to handle personal life and family, and everything that comes with that. Then you're back out on Friday. For me, it was trying to balance everything. We're in a critical portion of their lives when they are so young, and this is when we build these relationships and bonds and they get to know who their dad is. For me, it was extremely important that I can build my fatherhood as a priority and a #1 hat that I wear. In WWE, Vince and everybody was very good about accommodating that and making sure to keep me in that WWE family." Reigns continued by saying this, quote, "The main thing is, no, we're not going to be on every single pay-per-view, but anything that I am on, which I will be at all the major ones and a couple of the other ones that fall in between the Big Four and the Saudis, I'll always support those with TV to build up the story and rivalry going forward. Compared to what I did, technically compared to a full-time on everything, you only get a day and a half a week. Yeah, it's part-time compared to what I usually run. I'm an annual character on WWE television. It's done well so far. The reactions, it makes everything feel more special if you're not as attainable or available. It puts a little mystique around you. Pretty much all of the hosts have done well. The actual reaction, the decibel level is still very high. I couldn't have planned it to go any better. Hopefully we'll continue to build that. I've done it to where I could do it every single week, that's no problem. At the same time, if the quality is high, the quantity does not have to be crazy." Now let us know your thoughts overall on Roman Reigns basically revealing in this recent interview that he has signed a new deal with WWE this year, and Roman's reasoning for taking on a part-time schedule with the company following WrestleMania 38. Regardless, it seems like Reigns will be in WWE for the long haul and has no plans of actually leaving anytime soon, hence the new major deal he signed with the WWE recently, and he simply wants to cut things back a bit moving forward. Now, last night's AEW Dynamite certainly shocked many wrestling fans, because it was a show that was going to be featuring the huge AEW World Championship title unification match between CM Punk and Jon Moxley, and shockingly, Jon Moxley ended up basically squashing CM Punk to become the undisputed AEW World Champion, something that not surprisingly caught most fans completely off guard in attendance and those watching worldwide. Some fans believe that CM Punk was not exactly 100%, which is the reason as to why AEW booked the match to be so short and so incredibly dominant for Jon Moxley, But regardless, this match outcome has got everybody talking and questioning as to what's next for both CM Punk and Jon Moxley, although Ryan Frederick of the Wrestling Observer board reported that CM Punk is not actually injured and that the plan is still to have CM Punk versus Jon Moxley 2 at the upcoming All Out event on September 4th. On social media, some fans are speculating that this will likely be leading to a big heel turn for CM Punk when he comes back, but that is simply speculation at this point, though seemingly pretty likely in all honesty. With that said, let us know your thoughts on Jon Moxley squashing an injured CM Punk last night on Dynamite to become the undisputed AEW World Champion, and was this the right booking decision in your opinion, and as well do you feel like this is leading to a heel turn for CM Punk? Now, last night before AEW Dynamite, the AEW president Tony Khan held an alleged mandatory meeting backstage with officials and talent, and the truly noteworthy bit of news coming out of this meeting is that Tony Khan essentially stated that AEW's chief legal officer sent WWE a warning to not tamper with his AEW talent. Here's what PW Insider reported on the situation, quote, Khan also made it clear that AEW was in an industry that has long been dominated by WWE, and that he had put everything into it to make things better for the talents. Khan also stated that right before the meeting took place, AEW's chief legal officer for the company, who is effectively the number 2 in the promotion's hierarchy, sent an email to WWE's Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon, warning them to not tamper with his talent. Now, clearly Tony Khan does not want any of his AEW roster to make the move over to WWE, and this warning certainly reflects that feeling for sure. Although we really cannot do much about some AEW stars possibly deciding to join or return to WWE once their AEW deals expire, and it seems like Tony is quite focused on WWE, which may not be a great thing. Now, by far the biggest wrestling news story of the year so far was Vince McMahon suddenly stepping down and retiring from WWE. And since then, Vince McMahon has certainly been keeping quite a low profile. That is, up until today when a new photo was revealed of Vince McMahon celebrating his 77th birthday with John Cena and his wife Shay in New York City. This is the first time Vince has been spotted publicly following his retirement from WWE, and he appears to be living his retirement life to the fullest. At this point, some fans wonder if Vince's retirement from WWE will be lasting, or if McMahon will someday return to WWE television. But last month, Hall of Famer Booker T mentioned on his podcast that he would not be shocked or surprised if Vince returns every now and then for special appearances, although time will only tell if this actually happens or not, and it probably won't be happening for quite some time given the circumstances.